Guys, welcome back to Yard. This is Mikyle, and this is his. This is a
500 SEC.
500 SEC. It's got an AMG kit on it, I think. This as well, right?
It's got an AMG 4 kit for it.
Okay.
Some of it's fallen off. Some of it's in the garage.
She's there, but needs love.
All the parts are present.
Tell me the story about this car, because it's an interesting story. Go.
So my dad had one of these when we were growing up as kids, and we had all our sort of family trips away in this car, loads of memories in it, loads of photos of us in it. And basically he sold it years ago to use the money to buy my mum a new car because she needed one. So and then he was eventually looking to buy it back because he missed it and he wanted it, and then he couldn't find it. The dealership didn't know the details of who they sold it to, and then long story short, he never really found it. Then he passed away, and I continued looking for the car, and then I stumbled across this, which was down the road from where we lived.
So this isn't your dad's car?
This is not the car, but this is.
So was your dad's car MOT tax? Was it on the road? I mean, because that's pretty much what you do. You let
yeah, this is it. So basically, we searched the reg, nothing came up. I rang the DVLA and asked them for info on the car, and they said they hadn't had info on it for so many years that it had probably been scrapped and unrecorded. And then this one came up for sale down the road, and I just went to see it just for the sentimental value, and instantly I thought I've got to buy it and do it up and make it the same as my dad's car, basically. So we bought it.
So you'd given up on dad's car, basically.
It
was gone.
I mean, the DVLA said it was gone, so I was just I assumed it was gone. But this is the closest thing. I mean, dad's was a 420 SEC. This is a 500. This is a bit older. This is a pre-face.
Yeah. So you spent all your money on this.
Spent all money on this. Finally got it down here, which took big old lorry to bring it down.
The plan is, or was what?
Plan was get it running and get it looking the same as dad's, basically. All the original colour, everything looking the same. Yeah. I've had it 7 years now. So obviously we had the 500 SEC. I finally got it down here to the unit where I could restore it, where I could work on it, where I could do everything I needed to do. And then 2 weeks after, I was just looking for parts on eBay and on Facebook, and then saw this, which is exactly the same colour as my dad's was, exactly the same spec as my dad's was. It's a 420 SEC, the same. It's a facelift, also the same.
So this was basically a closer match.
This is basically almost identical. Now there was a couple of things on this car that stood out to me that I was like, this is bizarre, that it's too close for comfort. Like, this had a Scorpion alarm system fitted at the factory by whoever bought the car originally. This also.
But surely you knew your dad's car because of the number plate, right?
No, so my
dad had a private plate.
Dad always had a private plate on it, yeah, which was. There's only 1 or 2 photos we've got of this car with the original plate on it. So when I saw this on Facebook, I contacted the guy and I rang my mum and just said, look, I need you to find the old paperwork of dad's car because I need to know what the original reg was. And then lo and behold, she got back to me and this was the reg of my dad's actual car. So.
Hang on, so you'd found the car?
So I found the car.
So you'd bought that other car?
Bought the other car.
Spent all your money on that?
Spent all money on it. Finally brought it down here, which was honestly like just the biggest nightmare anyway. Like, cost a fortune in recovery. Car wouldn't move. Car wouldn't, it was all seized. And then 2 weeks after getting it in the unit, I found this one being broken for parts by a lovely geezer who I still speak to now about the car. And I basically rang him and said, look, I'm adamant this is my dad's car. So what's pretty cool about this as well is that I used to live in North Wales.
I'm sorry.
And my dad was the second owner of this car.
Yeah.
I've now got it and I'm the 8th, but it's never been on the road since he owned it. But there's bits and bobs in the car. This is a flyer from an event at the Welsh Mountain Zoo not far away from where we lived that my dad must have taken us to as kids. There's a little parking paying displays from our local county.
This is all stuff from when your dad had the car?
This is all stuff from when Dad had the car.
Found where? In the
car, in the glove box.
Yeah.
All the tax discs. He has still got all his signatures in the paperwork.
So this has had 6 owners and hadn't been back on the road all that time.
No one's got it
completely
on the
missing.
road.
You were told it was scrapped.
Yeah.
And hey presto, it turns up.
Turns up.
You go and buy it.
Yeah.
And now you've completely skinned yourself out, but you've got
Yeah,
your dad's car.
Yeah.
Which is obviously really important to you.
Yeah, yeah.
You've still got the number plate, haven't you? Your
Still got
dad's
number
original plate.
Yeah.
That'll go back on here.
Yeah.
So what does this need? How much work have you got involved here? I mean, what is this project? Because people are going to want to know, because they're going to want to follow. And you know what? This is one good thing I like about this channel.
Yeah.
Is it might encourage you to get moving.
It will. I mean, to be honest, I've not been given it any time at the moment. I almost got it running properly. Well, I got it running, it would run, it just wouldn't idle. And then I tweaked some stuff and now it won't idle. And the biggest problem I've got is some bodywork at the
Come on,
the rear scuttle.
I know we're going to look at the...
We've got to have a look.
Is that your dad's plate?
Yes, that's dad's plate.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this is my issue, because this is no longer of any structural integrity.
Yeah, that's a pain to repair, right?
Yes, you can buy the top panel, but I need the bottom panel as well. So what I'm likely going to do is, by the sounds of it, we're going to have to cut that whole rear section off the 500 SEC, which is a shame because that car is a solid car,
right.
but
this
I can't
is the
scrap
goal.
my dad's one. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
this is the goal. This car.
Yeah, so yeah, unless I come across another one that's being broken for parts or something like that, this is.
Well, if anyone's got a rear scuttle for one of these,
rear scuttle for a
you'll
420
take that.
SEC, let me know.
Yeah, let you know. So basically, get it running.
Get it running.
Also having running issues. You had a few people looking at it, haven't you? But they're quite a complicated old motor. Can we see under the bonnet?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean these aren't a Ford Pinto, are they? These are.
They're not quite as simple as
this
most
is
old
Jetronic
cars.
ignition.
Yeah,
Jetronic.
this is K-Jetronic. So this is
K-Jet, yeah.
K-Jet, but with the electronics, which is not ideal. Now the funny thing is that last year I actually got it running. All the injectors were blocked, so I was pouring fuel directly into the inlet. And what happened was I got a little bit trigger happy with pouring the fuel, and it backfired and set fire to the engine, and that's why most of the sound deadening has disappeared, because it was on fire.
Yeah, you don't want to do that too often, do you?
No, not really. Once was enough for me. But
what I ended running, right?
It did get it running.
Yeah,
it did run, and then I've done loads of stuff since, and then it's been running again. Now it won't run. It just won't idle, basically. So yeah. So there's lots to do, lots to check, lots of things I need to investigate, really. But it's just
get it running, get it roadworthy, and then really get to town on the bodywork and the paint.
The plan is once it runs and it brakes and it steers and all that sort of stuff. Once it's moving under its own power, take it for an MOT and see how much stuff it needs. I'm happy to have a fail sheet with 10 pages, because then I know what
you've got to do. Yeah, that's sensible, mate. That's sensible. I think everyone's really rooting for this. It's an interesting story. What was your dad's name? I think it's a really cool chance to remember your dad, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to name him.
Yeah, he was called Martin. So this was, Martin's car.
Well, there you go, Martin, mate. If you're watching now, your boy's got the car and he's going to do something with it. Just a cool story. For me, I've got kids, and I have this... I don't know, I just have this thing where I just feel like it'd be really nice for them to be nostalgic about something that I owned, and you're doing that. So I think your dad would appreciate it. And
I think he'd love to see it now. If he was here now, he'd love to see it.
He'd love to know, because he loved this car, right? Which is why you love it.
He's had loads of cars, loads and loads of cars over the years, all big Mercs, but this was the one that, the last exciting car he had.
All right.
So it's a special one.
Very cool. Listen, we're going to wrap this up, right? But just quickly tell us what other stuff you got, vehicle wise. Where are you at?
So I've got the 2 SECs. I've got the wagon BMW, which is the daily, but I'm gonna sell that. It's not getting the use it needs.
You like a wagon, don't you? You like these?
Yeah, I've had a fair few 46s. Yeah,
And what's the white one you've got?
I've got a white 190E as well.
I like that car, lowered. It's just a cool little car. We'll do a little video on that another time.
Yeah, it won't die. That's the reason I've kept it.
They're a very reliable old car, those.
They are.
Yeah. What's it like for rust?
Dreadful. Yeah. Terrible. But if it's not an old rusty Merc, I'm not interested.
There you go. All right, Mikyle, thanks, mate, for sharing, bud. We'll put this on the channel now. And I think, look, if any of you guys are an expert on these engines and want to help, or you can find the scuttle, Or perhaps if you need parts off of that
The
500,
500 will
are
probably
you going
be
to part
getting
that out,
broken.
or what will happen
Well,
to it?
because it's a pre-facelift, they don't share that many parts.
That's annoying.
So yeah, it's not even like I can use it for a parts car. Some stuff, wings, headlights, body panels are not too bad, but the engine's K-Jet on the 500 and this is KE-Jet.
Oh,
So
there's a
all the
difference, right? I
injectors are
didn't know
different,
that.
the
Okay.
injectors are, injector lines are
Unfortunate,
different.
mate.
This has got 2 fuel pumps instead of 1, you know, so it's tricky, but the 500 will probably be getting broken to fund this one, I think.
Yeah, there you go. So if you
Yeah.
need parts off that car, get in touch through the channel. You can leave a comment and Mikyle can get in touch with you that way.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.